Alec, what's going on?
Well, it's a good day to be a Nintendo fan.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Uh, September 4th, 2019. Nintendo Direct.
my
Uh,
birthday.
oh, your birthday.
It was my birthday. Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Happy birthday.
Why, thank you.
Hey, I hope there was a good birth you had.
It was. It was good.
We're going to talk about some of the things that stood out to us. Obviously, the biggest highlight is that everyone's talking about is the Smash Bros. Stuff, and
Yep.
a couple of other things are the big headline things.
Mm.
But, I don't know, do you want to start with other stuff and other
So,
notable stuff?
yeah, so really huge for me. This might, some people I think were a little confused or maybe like they're kind of like, huh? But this is like one of the most exciting announcements I've gotten, and that's Deadly Premonition 2.
Okay. Yeah,
I actually,
I know Andy is
yeah,
excited for that.
Andy's really. I mean, I'm a huge fan of it too. I first, funnily enough, the very first time I played Deadly Premonition 1 was on my birthday 5 years ago.
Okay.
Um,
Wow.
no, sorry, it was 6 years ago. It was on my birthday 6 years ago, and it was in my packed dorm room. There was like 10 guys in there.
Just
And my
a
friend Chris, huh?
just a bunch of
Yeah,
boys packed
just
in a
a
room.
what a bunch of lads. Yeah. Um, it was my friend Chris was like, I have a birthday present for you. I don't have tons of money. We're in college, obviously, but my birthday present to you is we're gonna sit down. We're gonna play this game. You're gonna experience this game. And
Wow.
I was like Deadly Premonition. And he was like, yup. So what then proceeded was about a month to month and a half long of it didn't always stay that crowded. There were sometimes some nights where it was only just me and Chris. Um, but there was always some audience. Most nights there was maybe like 4 or 5 people, I would say, that would come in and would just watch me play this game. And what an experience it is! It's not a good game.
No.
In terms of like, if you want to look at it in terms of like movies, it's like a B movie basically.
Hmm.
The budget wasn't very high. Um, there's a lot of like really weird, janky things with it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it just has such a weird, demented humor about it. It's like Twin Peaks meets Resident Evil 4.
Oh.
Very inspired by Resident Evil 4 in the gameplay. Um,
Okay.
but it's very quirky and weird, like Twin Peaks is. Um, and yeah, it just was just an experience, and it was just unforgettable. And you can now pick that up on Switch. You can pick up the first one on Switch right
Yeah.
now, which is
Okay.
really awesome. I'm actually probably going to download that after we're done here, just to have that. Um, but I actually met Swery at PAX the year after, or it was actually the year I went with you and Cole.
Oh.
Um, I actually met Swery and talked to him a little bit. He does know a little English, so that was really nice. And it was just great getting to meet him and express how much I love Deadly Premonition. And I don't think I've ever seen a game as polarizing. I remember seeing reviews. I saw one site gave it a 10 out of 10, and someone else gave it like a 2 out of 10.
10 out of
Like
10.
that like
Okay.
yeah,
Oh.
10 out of 10. I think that's kind of as a meme, because I mean, obviously the game is objectively not a 10 out of 10 game, but like what it does in terms of like a story and a narrative, it just has it's very goofy. It's kind of silly and over the top. It takes itself like overly seriously sometimes. The music is a mixture of like really, really good and like also really so stupid and terrible. There's there's one there's a driving mini game in it.
Mm-hmm.
The song I think is called Canadian Idiot on the soundtrack. It is literally the chord progression of American Idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I would play that mini game, I would be singing American Idiot. because it's literally the chord progression. It's amazing.
Isn't Canadian
Um,
Idiot a Weird Al song?
I think it is.
Okay.
Um,
It was
maybe it's not called Canadian. It's there. There's some reference to that to that in it. I think.
it was definitely, yeah, because it was like Canadian Idiot. That's straight up Weird Al. Okay.
Maybe not. Maybe not. I'll have to. Yeah, I could be wrong about that. I was wrong about some other stuff. I was actually rewatching some of our other content before, and I was like, I was completely wrong about that the other day.
What? Because
Well, oh, about the Bill O'Reilly. About he didn't throw the chair. At least we didn't see him throw the chair. He just like picked up his jacket really like. No, he took off his jacket and he like slapped it
yeah,
down.
my
on the
favorite
seat.
part was when he threw the desk across the room.
Yeah, heck yeah. Anyway, all this to say, I'm very excited for Deadly Premonition 2. It's going to be acting, I guess, as sort of semi-prequel, because it's supposed to be taking place like 14 years before, but then there's also affecting stuff that's the 14 years after, so there's going to be some time travel, quote-unquote. I don't think it's really time travel, it's just time jump stuff in terms of the narrative, so... I just think it was very fitting that it was on my birthday, and... Sweary still wishes me a happy birthday every year. So
Wow. There you
on
go.
my on Facebook. So
Nice.
it was pretty cool. It was a nice little present there. Other than that, Xenoblade is huge news. Xenoblade Definitive Edition. I mean, it just looks gorgeous.
See, I saw so many people
Um,
blown away. I'm like, oh, I didn't know this was big news, but I was all right. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean,
But-
it just sort of came out of nowhere ish. I mean, it didn't really come out of nowhere, but like. It just looks amazing. I mean, that's what everybody wanted out of the Wii version anyway. That's what I wanted out of the Wii version. I loved that game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nice to know that that game is finally going to get the graphical look that it always deserved. Because, I mean, just such an amazing, interesting world setting. Just the world itself is just so cool in that game. Because it all takes place on the dead corpses of these giants.
Yeah.
So, very, very cool. Looking very much forward to that.
That's cool. How are you feeling about Overwatch on Switch?
I mean, it was leaked beforehand, so that kind of was disappointing. But, I mean, yeah, I'm a big Overwatch fan. I'm going to absolutely triple dip on that. So,
Really?
it'll be my third version of the game. Yeah.
What, for the mobile? For it to be mobile, or
No, just to have another copy of it.
like, I mean what's the motivation to get the Switch version if you have it on the PS4, right?
I have it on the PS4 and I have it on PC. But like, I mean, I'm gonna be playing with a whole different group of people on the Switch.
Oh, okay.
So that's a whole other market I would be playing against. So
you gotta conquer them all.
I gotta try to.
Yeah.
I actually haven't even done enough. I haven't even done all my placements on the PC version yet because I haven't even leveled up my myself to be high enough to do so. So, but I do want to see where I place in each version to see if there's any similarity because there's a lot of criticism with how ranking works in that game. So, but anyway, looking forward to that. That's cool. It's coming out next month. I'm kind of disappointed that that what we get is essentially if you go buy it in a store, all you get is the box with a code. It's not coming on a cartridge, which is really stupid, and I hate it. And
Really?
why do you keep doing that to me?
Gross. The Switch. I mean, the Switch case is already gross. They're just like.
Oh, I like the Switch
There's
cases.
nothing in it. It's a little cartridge, no instructions or anything. It's like.
If you get games by like Nicholas or a Fan Gamer or anything like that, they always have a manual or something in there.
Yeah, but what about Nintendo? Nintendo doesn't give me anything.
Yeah, well, they give you reversible covers or covers that you can download on using Nintendo coins that you can then print out. Have you ever seen that?
Wait,
It's like
what
the
is
dumbest thing. For like 10 Nintendo coins, which is like really cheap, you can like you can download new new art for the game boxes that you can print out.
Oh.
They don't send you new art. You have to print them out yourself, which is like that's
Come on.
disgusting. That's horrible.
See, that would be cool if they actually had like sleeves of different art you could switch out.
It would be nice if they would, if they, as like an incentive, it would be cool if they'd like send you that or something.
But, like,
I think that would be kind of nice.
Like, as it stands, as someone who likes to have the cases of all the games, it's like, I look over on the shelf. Not only on the binding is it just all generic, looking the same with red and white text, but also when you open it up, it's just sad. There's one little cartridge. There's nothing else. I'm like, what is
But
this?
there's usually cool art on the inside though. Usually.
Yeah. But
Yeah, I mean whatever.
it's like, it's just a sad thing to see.
Yeah, I know. I kind of get you.
I really
but
hate the fact the binding's all generically the same, though. I don't like that. Because it's like, you might as well.
I go back and forth on it. I kind of like it, because it's really helpful in terms of visually. I like some symmetry. I think that's kind of nice. But I do agree with you. It like okay, you don't get the entertaining like okay. So here we got Twilight Princess. Here, right?
Yeah.
It's like classic Zelda. And we got like Full Metal Alchemist here.
And you can just tell
It's like
at a glance what each of those are.
Yeah,
They're
and then
distinct.
you've got Shadow the Hedgehog, where you got Shadow here, and it's the logo. It's true
Yeah.
that there really is something to be said about unique art in the binding. So, but
Yeah, it's a little
I
bit
don't
of a unique
oh man,
identity. Here I've got Resident Evil 0 and the Nonary games. And here I've got Sesame Street, Luigi's Mansion 3. I'm kind of excited for that.
yeah, I like the new little features and stuff they show. Definitely looking forward to that game.
The new mode
I
didn't
like-
do anything for me, but I was like, okay, that's cool.
I think it's neat. I like. I mean, I don't know when I'm ever going to use it, but I think it's cool the fact that you could have like 8 people playing at once or 6 people. I think it was 8 people.
8 people, yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. But
But it's like mini games. I can imagine that being, even the way they're describing it, like a one-off thing. It's like
yeah,
1 hour, 2 hours worth of content to play
Yeah.
online. You'll get bored of it.
yeah,
But
still kind of a
I'm
neat. Yeah,
I'm,
neat.
I'm really interested in the different environments in the each of these floors
yeah.
now.
Oh yeah, the fact that there's like definitely.
A
That's
pirate themed restaurant. I'm down for that.
oh yeah,
There's of course Super Kirby Clash, which is free to start.
yeah,
So
it's cool. I mean, like, just not a huge highlight for me, but like, I like the fact that that exists. You know,
yeah, but it's,
I like the fact that they're
it's gonna be
doing
some
something.
sort of microtransaction thing.
yeah. They've usually been pretty generous about it though. Like Tetris 99 is a free to start game too,
Yeah,
and
speaking
there's
of,
not tons of DLC with that.
now there's Tetris 99 Invictus. What was it? Invictus?
Invictus or something. Yeah.
For all the people who have won a Tetris 99 before, which in my little brief tiny part where I played that, I never got the number 1 spot. I got number 2, number 3. So
Yeah, same.
I'm not even invited. So
Yeah. No invites for me either.
I consider myself pretty good at Tetris, but never got the first. But it does. There's like a physical version now. I'm like, okay, weird, but it's not going to be free. So that was the whole point.
Yeah. Well, the DLC. Well, the DLC is what you paid for some of that stuff. I don't remember what all the stuff you pay for is, but there's some different like
you can
multiplayer
actually,
modes and stuff.
actually play multiplayer with people you know, and locally. So I guess
Yeah.
that's the thing. That's nice. Pokemon Sword and Shield. They showed a couple different things. You can go to in a camp, and you can make curry on rice.
Yep.
There's a curry dex, of course. Everybody's going to be completing their curry dex.
Yep. Oh, I am. I'm honestly, it's stupid, and I think everyone was like, "Oh, you spent so much time on that, they can't put more Pokemon in the game." It's like, all right, well, that's fair enough, but I'm looking forward to filling out my curry decks. So
We're proud to announce that every type of curry imaginable will be
yeah,
full 3D render.
with their own unique animations.
They also
So,
showed
yeah.
they just showed a new T Pokemon. I forget what the name was.
Yeah, you get Ghosty, Misty,
Something with T in it.
Spook T.
And
Yeah.
he's like, if you're nice to him, he'll give you a taste of your tea. The people he
I was
really
like-
likes.
And I was like, yeah, I was like, what? That's weird. I said that out loud. I was like, that's weird. Why did you say
Strange.
what? Also-
Customize your look, dude.
Okay, so that's cool. I really like the fact that there's a lot. It's way more expanded than it's been in the other versions.
Yeah.
You can have like layers now. You can do different cool stuff with your hair, makeup on the ladies.
Hmm.
So, yeah, it's cool stuff.
I'm down for that.
Yeah. I want to be the prettiest girl at the Harvest Moon Ball.
Best girl. Best grill.
I want to be the best girl in Pokemon. Yeah.
And those are all, outside of the Smash Bros. Stuff, I think those are all the main highlights for me.
Yeah. The only other thing I wanted to mention is I'm very excited the fact that they are going to be releasing Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE again.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's going to have a lot more of a life on a Switch as opposed to the Wii U, where it basically just came out to
Nothing, yeah.
to nothing because I mean it got reviewed extremely well, but nobody bought it.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm really hoping that the thing I'm looking for is I'm really hoping that this version will come out with the stuff that was taken out of the version we got before.
Okay.
So like there's censorship, and it's like some of the girls' costumes were like, oh, we can't have them showing off midriff, so they like covered up some of the.
So you're telling me what you want to see from the definitive edition?
I do.
More skin.
I do. More skin, yeah, more skin.
Okay.
And more skin. And speaking of which, there was a Hot Springs DLC that we but it wasn't just that. It was an entire dungeon of the game was changed for the Western version. Because there was just like some weird thing about it that they were like, oh, we can't have that being a game for the English people. And it's like, you kidding? Everybody playing this game is a giant weeb. They're gonna fall in love with the fact that that this is in the game, So it's like,
well, all you give me to go off of is dungeons, so I'm worried. But
dungeons.
Well, yeah, that's the only detail I know.
It's basically Persona with Fire Emblem.
No, I know what the game is. I'm saying the part
Yeah.
you said was cut out. It's just something from a dungeon was taken out of
No. The entire theme of the dungeon was changed.
Okay.
They changed it to be like some sort of generic setting when it was like it originally had a lot more. It played into the theme of the game a lot more. So that's all I remember. I can't remember any specifics. I'm sorry. I'm not an encyclopedia. So, but I do remember that there was some controversy about that. So I'm hoping that they renege those changes.
More fan service.
Yeah, I mean for crying out loud, what's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that?
What is wrong? No, honestly, like that. Your core audience playing the game doesn't care. Like, in fact, that they would want that in the game.
I know it's fine, but I'm like, I don't really care if it's there or not. I'm like, I'll take it or leave it.
Okay, I'm not gonna stand on a anti-censorship soapbox, but
anti-censorship.
Not at this time. Yeah.
Who made the decision though? Did the creators make the decision?
Nintendo. No, they were told to by Nintendo, because Nintendo published the game in overseas. So it was just like the changes they made to the Fire Emblem Fates game. Intelligent Systems obviously the developer, but it's a Nintendo published game, so releasing in different territories. But Nintendo's been pretty good overall, particularly with the Switch. They've been a lot more like open and welcoming for weird stuff, I guess is what we'll say.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have like Senran Kagura Peach Ball on this system, So, well, I hope they're okay.
God bless them.
But yeah, anyways, that game, that's the only other highlight besides the Smash Brothers stuff. Terry Bogard.
Yeah, Terry Bogard. Which, I mean, I hadn't actually heard the leak. Everybody around me was talking about how they leaked an SNK thing. Well, they didn't tell me.
Yeah.
They didn't tell me until afterwards, but I was like, I don't want to hear about it. And it's
cool.
like Neo Geo coming up. I'm like, okay, interesting. But then I don't have any attachment to Fatal Fury, but I'm like, that's cool. I'll always take any. At this point, I'm not going to complain about anything because there's no reason we should be getting more characters.
I think it's awesome. And the thing is that the stage that they showed very briefly actually showed King of Fighters.
King of Fighters, yeah.
So it makes me wonder like what other Fatal Fury type stuff is going to be released, because they specifically mentioned Fatal Fury because that is what Terry Bogard's originally from. Mm-hmm. But he's a prominent character in King of Fighters as well. So it's Neo Geo is like that whole scene is. I love how passionate people are for Neo Geo. It's not something I personally have attachment to either,
Hmm.
But like having like hearing people talk about Neo Geo gets me excited for it. You know, like people talking
Yeah.
about Samurai Showdown, people talking about King of Fighters. It always gets me like excited, and I'm like, but I don't have any attachment for it. There's something weirdly infectious about that system. It might be just like because it was such a expensive, it was kind of a high end product when it came out in the late '90s. Some of the most gorgeous sprite work ever made was on that system. So it might be bits and pieces of that because it's definitely a retro, but like they were still developing games for it like into the 2000s, I think.
Hmm.
Maybe not developing games, but like there was still like support for that for the Neo Geo for like well through the '90s. So um, yeah,
Yeah, so I mean the reveal trailer was pretty cool, having all the different characters trying to grab it,
yeah, I like that a lot.
and it was a nice nod to that because it's interesting the fact that Nintendo are willing to do this kind of stuff. It shows a lot of the passion, and even when hearing Sakurai talk about it, the passion just like getting all these worlds, regardless if they're like the most popular thing, because it's not like Terry Bogard is the thing that's going to get the most headlines for Smash Bros. It's like that's a hardcore, more niche audience to go for,
Yeah,
and it's like most of the people like I'll watch a lot of reactions after directs come out, and most of them don't really care or they're excited just because it's a new character, but they don't have an attachment to it. Like we
yeah,
don't really have an attachment to it. But
yeah.
then you find those couple ones that are really into it, and it's like, wow,
Johnny
that's
Johnny
cool.
Millennium Johnny Millennium is such a huge King of Fighters
Yeah,
and just SNK fan in general. His reaction was just so great.
yeah.
He's like he
Unfortunately,
took off his Mario hat and then put on his
unfortunately, he already like if we hadn't heard anything about
yeah.
SNK, it would have
It's
been much better.
yeah. It would have been yeah. It was too bad,
Especially
but
for those hardcore fans, because like you're not going into it thinking, "Give me a Fatal Fury character." I know it's coming,
yeah,
but of course, like all these DLC characters, most of them find a way to get ruined right before they come out.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, that's the cool thing about it is that they're covering all this different ground. They're not afraid to take up one of their DLC slots of that pack and just make it a character that definitely is not the most requested character, but it'll
no,
still be cool.
but it's to me it's a very important. I like a lot of the guest characters. It's just such an important staple to have.
Yeah,
Is like the SNK, the Neo Geo is such a huge, albeit niche, but I think it is an important bit of gaming history, and I think having a piece of that represented in Smash Brothers is just super cool. Speaking of having other things represented, they also then announced that more DLC fighters are in development,
yes. This is
and
this is the biggest
this
thing
is
for me.
huge, huge news.
Oh,
Huge news. I was like getting chills like hearing about it. I was just so excited. The potential now
yeah,
for it.
infinite possibilities. Now it's like,
Really, yeah.
how? What are the odds we do not get Gino in any of the DLC from now on?
I mean, it's looking brighter. I will say that it's looking brighter, more optimistic. But it makes you wonder, like, is Sora an actual possibility now? Do you
Yeah,
think do you think Disney would be like, sure, we'll work with you?
yeah, man.
Do Disney want a piece of that Smash Brothers pie? They should want some. Square Enix is already like, heck yeah. They're already like,
Yeah.
sure. Cloud Strife, yeah,
At this point, anything's a possibility.
yeah,
And we should talk about Banjo Kazooie, who was the release date was announced, and it happened to be the day of, which was
yeah.
cool.
I haven't been able to try him out
You
yet.
haven't tried
So
him?
no,
Yeah, I've been playing him. I mean, he's definitely not the best. He's not going to be like, I can't imagine he'll be super like top tier, but
mm.
I mean, he's still fun, obviously, and it's cool. It's cool to have the representation in there, the music and the stage.
Oh yeah,
Um, and it makes me want to go play in the original game. Did you watch the demonstration that Sakurai did of Banjo Kazooie?
I did.
That was
I did.
great.
I did watch the original demonstration.
Yes.
I
I have just
I
the
actually,
cartridge over here.
I honestly, I got this for Secret Santa one year.
Oh yeah.
They,
That's
I
right.
got boxed N64 games. You have
Wasn't
no
that-
idea how excited I was.
Was that like Pestro who did that, or was it someone else?
No, I think it was Comeback Kid.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I think. Maybe it was Pestro.
Okay, then let's give credit to both of them.
No, I think it was Pestro, and I think Comeback Kid Get Me Rogue Leader, or Rogue
Rogue
Squadron, I should
Squadron.
say.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, that's a
No, it
different
was
game. Star Wars Rogue.
Star Wars Rogue Squadron.
Yeah,
Dude,
what was-
Star Wars and Smash Brothers? No, please don't.
Star Wars. What was it? Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 that they talked about in the direct.
What a insanity! What is the like? What is going on? What year is it? Doom 64? What is going on? It was such a weird and awesome direct.
But yeah, back
Really
on the
was.
Banjo Kazooie thing though, Sakurai
Yeah.
in this presentation was great. He was like, "You might know that Banjo Kazooie is owned by Microsoft now, but we want to say if you want to play the original Banjo Kazooie, go play it on Xbox One."
Yeah,
this
and
is the
everybody-
Nintendo Direct.
Everybody behind him was laughing, and I'm
Yeah.
almost wondering if it's because the whole Japanese audience would be like, nah.
Well, it's because it's such against everything that you're known to expect from a presentation from a video
Yeah.
game company. It's like,
Yeah.
no,
Go
go
play 'em.
play this on a different system. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here's one thing. I did actually hear that searches for ROMs in Japan for Banjo-Kazooie spiked after
I'm
the
sure,
direct.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I really want Banjo Kazooie on Nintendo. Like, give me Banjo Kazooie on Nintendo Switch, man. That's where it feels right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hey, this partnership, I have a good feeling in the future might not be so dark. I wish it would be really nice if, I don't know, if somehow there could be some sort of collaboration for Nintendo to help work on a Banjo-Kazooie game with Rare. It would be so cool to do that.
I mean,
Have that happen.
they're all buddy with Microsoft, but it's like
Yeah.
they should just be like, yeah, can we just have Banjo Kazooie?
Yeah. Can we just have the
I
rights
mean,
to the character?
you're doing nothing with him.
Yeah.
Clearly, it's like
Throwing-
the most recent game was in 2008. And it was Banjo Kazooie Nuts and Bolts.
Nuts and bolts.
Great stuff.
Yeah. Don't even remind me.
Great work, guys.
Yeah. Solid effort.
You're doing a lot within the past 11 years. Go play the original Banjo Kazooie on Xbox One.
Yeah.
It would just be such a nice announcement. Beautiful harmony restored to the universe. If they were
Yeah.
like proud to announce that Banjo Kazooie is coming back to Nintendo, not just the character.
Just Banjo-Kazooie, period. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna release Banjo Kazooie, Banjo Tooie remastered on the Nintendo Switch, and there's a new one coming. Oh, 2 years from now. Cool.
Yeah. Neat.
Yeah. Anything else? They did show Animal Crossing again, and gave me nothing new. So
Yeah, there was pretty
thanks.
much no new information, but it was a very cute trailer, and it was funny.
They literally said we put together a trailer of stuff you know already. They said something along those lines. It's like, oh, cool. I'm like, all right. I need something. I still need something more to sell me on it. I might not buy this game.
I don't believe you. I don't know how you could not. Like, honestly, I don't know.
No, I'm
If
gonna
I was
buy
into
it,
that
but
series, yeah. If I was into that series, yeah.
I'm not sold
It's-
on it being good yet.
Okay. Well, that's
all
fair.
I'll say.
That's fair.
But I will buy it shamelessly, just like I'll buy Amiibo Festival 2 when it's released for Nintendo Switch.
Also, Sans is an Undertale because memes.
Oh yeah, Sans the meme. The meme.
And Toby Fox is apparently really buddy with Nintendo now, and went over to Sakurai's house and played Smash Brothers with him.
Yeah.
Because Toby Fox is pretty well known that he's pretty good at Smash Brothers.
Hmm.
And I guess he said it was about even. Actually, I think I lost more. But, yeah.
Yeah. That's
Sakurai's.
great.
I mean, I know it's just demos and he's playing against the computer, but I mean, you can tell he sits down and he plays the game a lot.
Yeah, he at least knows the game.
Yeah,
He
very
knows
well.
his own game fundamentally.
Yeah.
And he's just a beautiful soul, man. That man can
He
do
is.
no wrong.
Yeah, I loved the. It seems like the finish line is
Yeah.
getting further and further away, but he's like, but it's ultimately it's going to be worth it.
Yeah, he's like
You know?
literally. I was like, I want to just set this record, make it even higher, because I don't
Yeah.
think we'll ever achieve this again.
Yeah,
So let's go for 100, baby, 100 characters.
it's going to be a while, but we
Yeah.
can do it. We can do it.
So and yeah, I feel like with these indie developers that are becoming popular, like Shovel Knight and or I mean not the developers, but the characters from the developers, Shovel Knight, Sans. It's like, we're gonna acknowledge you, but we're gonna put you in check. We're gonna give you assist trophy. We're gonna give you Mii Fighter. You're not gonna get a full character. Let's not get carried away here. Right? You need to respect your freaking elders and stay as your Mii costume.
So it's not a good sign for Shantae then, which makes me sad because
Shantae,
I think she would be great. I think she'd be such a great fighter in Smash Brothers. But
maybe she'll come in and be the indie representative of all characters.
The indie showcase.
She is the showcase. But there is like a music piece with Megalovania with Sans, which is like I think the first time they did with a Mii costume. So
yeah,
that's cool.
Well, yeah, it's a separate purchase for that one in particular. So, but you get the track with it. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Pretty memey.
It is pretty meme.
I'm hoping somehow Waluigi finds his way back, even as an assist trophy, becomes a character in the end.
Wouldn't that be weird? Wouldn't that be weird to have like Waluigi as a character and then like
delete the assist trophy? It's not too late. I want that to be the final DLC character to resolve the imbalance in the universe. Finally, the one you've all been waiting for. Waluigi is here, and he's not an assist trophy anymore. Beautiful. That's it. Nintendo Direct. We've touched on every single game that was on Nintendo Direct. Anything worth noting?
We probably didn't do every single game because we didn't talk about like Town, which I have like no interest in now that they showed it to me.
No, it's called Little Town Hero.
And it looks kind of.
Yeah, I don't really care for it either.
I don't like. I was really excited for it when they announced it, but.
In fact, I wish misfortune on the development team.
Okay, so you hate Game Freak. All right, we get it.
I hate Game Freak and everything they stand for. I will not buy any more of their games because of the trailer I just saw.
Because the trailer and what they did with my beloved Pokemon.
Yes, I will buy that game though. I will buy Pokemon Sword and Shield, but no more until the next Pokemon.
Yeah, sure.
All right, thank you for watching. Adieu.